Figure it out.
Hello, this is Adam Koralik with Figure It Out Productions. The following video is part of our Quick Shoot series.
Hey guys, it's Adam here, and welcome to PlayLoad. This is all my video game pickups for the month of February 2015, and as per usual, we will start off with some of the things you've already seen. First off is this, an Atari 5200 controller. Now, I don't usually feature controllers, because whatever, but this is a very special exception. If you guys saw a video I did somewhat recently, I got this controller working, which, if you know anything about the Atari 5200, that is a feat in of itself. Usually Atari 5200 controllers are broken, and they almost never work. But I did do a video in which I restored this one, and I show you how to do it if you have a 5200 controller. Chances are you don't, but if you do, even greater chance that it doesn't work, so that might actually benefit you. Go check it out. But I also got some games for it. Now that it's running, I can actually try out the 5200. One of the games I got was River Raid. Now, the reason I got this is because it was a practical need, because it's a game that utilizes most of the buttons on the controller, so I was able to test very quickly if the controller works or not. But there were some other games I got that I got just because they caught my interest and because they were cheap, in all honesty. Most 5200 games are like $1 at most. A lot of these were like 50 cents. So I got Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, Jungle Hunt, and Super Breakout. Breakout was a lot of fun on the 2600, so I hope it's fun on the 5200. I also got Alice's Mom's Rescue and the regular edition. That's the limited edition. This is a brand new Sega Dreamcast game. I also did a video about this, so you can go see all of that if you're interested. But I've had a lot of fun with it. I got about halfway through it already, and I really enjoy it. Now, granted, I haven't put a whole lot of time into it, but I think I played for one evening. I just played a bunch of levels, and I really enjoyed it. It's a lot more challenging and interesting than it comes off, I guess, in my video. Probably because in the video I just kind of powered through it. But yeah, trust me, I had a lot of fun with this. And if you're at all interested in supporting the Dreamcast scene, I would recommend this because it's not a shmup. It's fun. Not that shmups aren't fun, but it's not a shmup, which is a shmup is a shoot 'em up. It's a kind of game we always get on the Dreamcast, and it's nice to get something different. That's all I'm saying. Now, I also got some other games that from the same place I got the 5200 controller. I got Spyro the Dragon for the PS1. Interesting thing about the PS1 is my collection for it hasn't really improved much since I was a kid when I had the console to begin with. I just never really have updated that much, so it's very rare when I get a PS1 game. And this one's very special because this is one of the few PS1 games I played a lot as a kid that I simply never had. I've actually been looking for it since, and yes, I've seen it before, but usually this game is like 30, 25, maybe 20 on the low end. I was able to get this for 15, which was nice. Also, it has the greatest hits thing on it, which I'd rather it was Black Label, but hey, I'm not complaining. For 15 bucks, not too bad. I also got Armed and Dangerous for the original Xbox, which is of course made by the ill-fated LucasArts. Kind of a sub-goal of mine to try and get as many LucasArts games as I can before they're all completely gone. And like I said, I got that at Titan Games, which is actually a video game store I'd never heard of, but it turns out it's only like 20 minutes from my house, so yeah, I certainly didn't mind checking that out. And it was totally worth it. Usually the best thing I got there, though, was the 5200 controller, just because I can actually use my 5200 now. That's absolutely remarkable, which is not common that people can say they can actually use their 5200, so that's nice. If you guys saw earlier, I did a video, well actually it was just a couple days ago, I did a video about how to get the best video quality out of the PS2, and one of the things I featured in that video was actually Ratchet Clank, the HD remaster for the PS3, exactly what you're looking at. So in order to feature it, I had to pick it up. So there you go. It was actually pretty cheap too. It was like $7.99. I think Amazon had a bunch of them. They were just trying to clear them out. I'm guessing they were trying to clear them out. I don't know what it was, but either way, worked out for me, and that's a really good deal in all honesty, because you get all three of those games fully remastered in HD, much better looking than they look on the PS2 in all honesty. So that was cool. Now, I've got some more Sega Saturn games. You guys might have noticed there was a bit of a dry spell with Sega Saturn stuff for me, except for the European stuff. The reason that is during the holidays, I tend to focus more on current generation things, because that's when there's a lot of deals on stuff. Wii U, Xbox One, PS4, they drop their prices a lot on a lot of things for Black Friday and through December and so on, and even January to a certain extent. But now that that's over and prices have gone back to normal on those things, and retro never really changes its prices, it always stays pretty consistent, now it's time to start focusing on retro stuff again and in this case the Saturn, because I'm still aiming to try and get a full North American set of Sega Saturn games. So I got a nice big lot, and I took a bunch off the list. Loaded, Double Switch, Decathlete, Iron Man Exo Manoware in heavy metal featuring Iron Man, Blast Chamber, High Velocity, and the crown jewel here, Shining Wisdom. Very happy to go ahead and pick that up. That was very cool to find that. This is all like a big couple of eBay lots. There was some other stuff in them too, but I don't have them because they're like sports stuff I already had. I decided to update my CDI collection. Yes, I got Tetris. I went out looking for CDI games, which is not easy to do. Checked out a couple of retro game stores, and I found one that had a crap ton of CDI stuff, but nothing worthwhile. Like, nothing. And then this was the only thing I ended up getting, because it was the only thing that was, I want to say, reasonably priced and even remotely interesting. And it's Tetris. You know what Tetris is. But this one actually utilizes the additional abilities of the CDI in some interesting way. It'll have like pre-rendered image backgrounds, I guess some sort of motion backgrounds like that. Yeah, motion video, nature backgrounds. I don't know why you need that for Tetris, but it's nice. And of course, it's Tetris. It's a game we're all very familiar with. The other thing about the packaging that really caught my eye, though, was just, it comes in this weird case. Sorry, this is going to take a second to do with one hand. But it has this really big case like this, as you can see, that lifts up and out. And it's super fancy. Like, I feel like I have to go to the opera or something to play this. You know what I'm saying? It just looks super fancy, like it's judging you almost. I don't know, that's just the impression I got from this one. But it was nice to get a new CDI game, because I got a couple of CDIs a couple of months ago from a guy named Ronald, a buddy of mine who lives in Austria, but I was unable to pick up any extra titles until now, so that was really cool. And I decided to get a bunch of original Xbox games. As I've been telling you guys for a long time, and I'm going to continue to say it, right now the original Xbox is cheap, the games are inexpensive, and there's a lot of great content on there, so it's a lot of bang for your buck, and I highly recommend looking into that. So I got a few. I got Blood Omen 2, Far Cry Instincts, Project Gotham Racing 2, Big Mother Truckers 2, Van Helsing, Spy vs. Spy. It was interesting. I didn't know that Spy vs. Spy had a game. It's weird to see a property of Mad, Mad Magazine, getting a video game like that, but whatever. I also got a couple of Sega Genesis games. First off, I was Pete Sampras Tennis. Interesting thing about this is I actually have a loose cart of the Mega Drive version of this that I picked up in the UK a few months ago when I was there. Because the interesting thing about this game is it's on what's called a J cart. It's a little, well, let me just go ahead and show you on the inside. A J cart is a cartridge for the Genesis that actually has 2 additional controller ports on it. That way 4 people can play instead of just 2. Now, that was a lot more common in the UK. There were multiple games, including Pete Sampras Tennis, and Micro Machines, and all sorts of other ones that use that cartridge. But we didn't get any of those in North America, except for, as far as I can tell, Pete Sampras Tennis. But it's not a particularly common game. So I didn't really expect to find it, but I went to this one store. It's just like a used games and CD store. And they had it. They just had it sitting there. I think they wanted like $3.99 for it. So I was like, oh, hell yes. So I went ahead and I got that just because it's not like a game I really want, but it's a rare, neat item. But clearly someone had just traded in their Sega Genesis, because I found a couple other pieces of treasure that I had been looking for a while. And I don't really look for Genesis stuff that often. Not really sure why. I just don't. But these two I was really, really happy to find, because they were on my very short list. Splatterhouse 2 and Splatterhouse 3. Oh yes, these are really cool games that very violent, like beat 'em up games, and they were actually a sequel to, of course, Splatterhouse, which was a game for the TurboGrafx 16. The game that made anyone want a TurboGrafx 16 in North America anyway was Splatterhouse, and then the sequels were made exclusively for the Genesis. So very, very cool to have these. Been looking for these for a really long time. Just, yeah, very happy to have them. And finally, I got Triple Action for the Intellivision. boxed, complete. It's got it's even got the little inlay and everything. It's really cool. So why would I end it here? Well, we're not quite done. We got a couple more Intellivision games. We got Burger Time, and we have Masters of the Universe, The Power of He-Man. Now, why, again, would I end it here? Why would I show this at the end? Because I have a brand new console. I have an Intellivision 2. So the deal with this Intellivision 2 is that when I was at Titan Games, as I mentioned before, one of the guys who works there, his name is Noah, he contacted me. He was the one who actually told me, like, hey, you know, we got a store. If you want to come check it out, we'd love to have you by. And so he said when I got there that he wanted to give me this. He just gave me the Intellivision 2 absolutely for free, which he really didn't have to do, as I told him then, and I'll tell him again, you really didn't have to do this, dude. But he was very insistent, and then he hooked me up with a couple of extra games for it, which was very nice of him. And so now I got a brand new console, and I can use the games I picked up at Toy Rat like last month now. So yeah, it was really very cool to have that. And that's it. I mean, thank you to Noah for that, and I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all later.